Chapter 4. Most grocery stores I've been in look the same. Fluorescent lights, bad music, moms with full carts, and screaming kids. You can be totally anonymous in a grocery store anywhere in the world, except here. People in the mountains have a sixth sense about strangers. They know you don't belong, didn't grow up here, didn't morph out of the dirt and rocks like their ancestors did 1 billion years ago, so they stare. The employees, the moms, the old men standing in front of the store, even the kids, they all stare. It's rude and unnerving. I hurry through the shopping, trying to ignore the stares and wishing I'd taken Granny up on her offer to come along. At least I'd have somebody to talk to. Before I left, she gave me $20 and a SNAP card. SNAP stands for a Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, which is a fancy way of saying food stamps. I'm embarrassed that I didn't know Granny was on food stamps. Almost as embarrassed as I am to be using them myself. When I'm done, the cart seems awfully empty, considering this food has to last us a week. The 2 cases of bottled water and the 12-pack of Mountain Dew take up most of the cash. I put back the green pepper and fresh broccoli and toss in a bag of rice and a big carton of oatmeal instead. More food, less money. I count up the change from the bottom of my purse and have just enough to buy a package of cough drops for Granny. It feels weird to be scrounging for money. MFM's job might have taken her away from home, but she got a halfway decent paycheck every month. Enough at least that I usually had more than 67 cents. As I'm standing in the checkout line holding the SNAP card in my sleeve till the last minute, I overhear a woman in the next lane talking about her daughter. Doctor says she might have some trouble with the birth, her being so young, the woman says. But so far, she's doing good. What do you reckon will happen after the baby comes? Asks the woman behind her. She says she's going to keep it. The first woman shakes her head. Her hair is streaked with gray, and her eyes are so tired they look like they're sinking down into her cheeks. I feel sorry for her and guilty for eavesdropping, but it's like a train wreck. I can't stop. She doesn't have any idea what it's going to be like. Thinks she can get an after-school job to pay for daycare and still finish school. Phew, that ain't going to happen. Don't I know it? She don't listen, though. They never do. I wonder if Granny stood in line here 17 years ago and had the same conversation with one of her friends about MFM. The lady sighs. I reckon we'll end up raising the baby, at least till she graduates. Where's the daddy? You tell me. Worthless piece of work ran his sorry ass out of town the same night Jess told him the news. That sounded familiar too. Granny always said the only thing my father could be depended on for was not being depended on. It's totally stupid and makes absolutely no sense, but I think I'm kind of jealous of Jess. Not because she's going to have a baby, God no, but because she screwed up, like in a major way, and here her mom is, trying to help her through it. It's hard to imagine FM doing that for me. Impossible, actually. I'd probably be 8 months along before she even noticed. Hey, you checking out or what? I look up and realize the guy ahead of me is long gone, and the checker is waiting. I start unloading the cart, reminding myself for the millionth time, I don't have a mom. I put the groceries into Granny's rusted out 1987 El Camino and leave the cart in the middle of the parking lot like everybody else. Driving back up the mountain, I pull off at the overlook and check my messages. Thank God I prepaid my cell bill for the year before closing out MFM's accounts. Everything that was left went to her lawyers. Now I wish I'd prepaid a credit card or 2 for living expenses, but I had no idea money would be so tight here. There are 2 voicemails from MFM that I delete without listening to, and 43 text messages from Iris. I read the latest few. Dress rehearsal was a disaster. Newsflash, Chet and Allie broke up. Miss your face. I replied telling her about the party tonight. Granny hasn't technically said I could go, but she did call Cole's dad this morning and leave a message. All she wants is to know the who and the where, and I have to admit, that makes sense. In a 1950s sort of way. Climbing back into the car, I'm thinking about Iris. She'd be all over this party, knowing exactly how to walk in and own the room. Me, I'm hoping I can sneak in the back door. The last thing I want is a repeat of the grocery store staring. I wonder if people here will ever accept me. I really need them to. I've decided no matter what happens with MFM, I won't go back to DC, not to live with her. We're just too different to ever get along. Sometimes I'm certain I got switched at birth, and my real mom is out there somewhere, dropping the wrong kid off at volleyball, cooking 4-course dinners for the wrong kid, and helping the wrong kid with her lines. The driveway is still muddy, and I spin out a couple of times before making it to the house. Luckily, I'm used to driving in DC slush, so at least I don't get stuck. Granny is waiting for me on the porch, wrapped in an Afghan and smoking a cigarette. She doesn't smoke much, just a couple a day, but it can't be helping her cough. Hey, I say, climbing out of the car. Hey, back at ya. She flicks the butt out into the yard, joining 100 others dotting the mud like little white flowers. Did you get my cookies? Nope. I walk around to the passenger side to get the bags. They're like $2 a bag. Plus, they have no nutritional value at all. I don't care, I need them cookies, she snaps. Everybody's got to have a vice. With my arms full of groceries, I'm too busy navigating the puddles to mention smoking counts as a vice. Did Cole's dad call? Not yet. She pushes the door open for me and I head for the kitchen. Can you call him again? No, I can't, Mrs. Impatient. I called him once and that's enough. Granny has a strict idea of what constitutes good manners. Fine. I wave the carton of oatmeal. Where's this go? She snorts. Outside with the pigs? Don't be stubborn. Oatmeal's good for you. That don't mean I have to like it. I'm sure you won't, I say, just for spite. I finish putting the groceries away while she wipes at the furniture with a damp rag. By the time she works her way through the living room, it's yellow from the dust that covers everything. Whew, she drops on the couch. I'm tuckered out. You want me to dust the rest of the house? That'd be a blessing. I rinse the rag out in the sink, which turns it orange instead of yellow. I'm thinking no matter what the county said, there's no way orange water can be healthy. Granny starts coughing again, so I drop the rag and take a cough drop out of the bag. By the time I get into the living room, I'm afraid she's going to pass out. She's coughing so hard. I rub her back, waiting. You need to stop smoking, I say, over her hacking. She shoots me a nasty look sideways through her watering eyes. I'm just saying. When the cough finally passes, she drops her hand from her mouth and wipes it on her sweatpants. It leaves a red streak. Whoa, what's that? I ask, pointing. Just a little phlegm. Phlegm my ass, I say. That's blood. No. Granny, you're coughing up blood. God. I'm trying to remember from health class what this might mean. Tuberculosis, pneumonia? How long has that been going on? Just a little bitty while. How long? She lies back on the cushion and wipes her eyes. Lord, Libby, I don't know. It don't happen so often. Just now and then. Blood is blood, I say, and when it comes out of your body, it's never a good thing. I'm taking you to the doctor right now. Granny snorts. On Saturday? Where you think you are? Washington, D.C.? I stop on my way to grabbing the car keys. She's right. The nearest dock in a box is probably an hour and a half away, and the car maybe has a quarter tank of gas. Fine. Monday, then. You told me that last night, bossy. Yeah, well, just don't forget. How can I, she says, with you reminding me every day. She grins, but I'm too worried to smile. I can't stand the thought that there might be something really wrong with her. She's the only family I have now. The phone rings, jarring me out of my worried thoughts. That'll be Daryl, Granny says, Cole's dad. Then she starts coughing again, so I answer it myself. Hello? Liberty? Yeah? Hey, it's Cole. Oh, hi. Kat left a message for my dad, he says. Yeah, about the party. Right. So I say, where is it? When's it over? Will there be any adults? And all those other questions adults have a deep and burning desire to torture us with. Cole laughs. It's at my buddy Dober's house, and it probably won't be over till Sunday morning. Okay, well, I'll need to be home before then, I say. I can almost hear him smile. I'll get you home by midnight. And the adults? His daddy'll be there, Cole kind of snorts. Great, I'll tell Granny. She's still coughing on the couch. What? No, you can't tell her any of that. Why not? Well, Dober's daddy, he's not... The silence on the other end stretches on a little too long. He's not what? Look, just tell her the party's at Jillian Coffey's. But you said... I know, but your Granny's not going to let you go if she knows that it's at Dober's. Why not? Liberty, Granny calls from the living room. Is Daryl? I gotta go, Cole says. Don't say anything about the Dobers. I'll pick you up at 8. The line clicks dead. I want to talk to him. She's just walking into the kitchen when I set the phone back in the stand. He had to go, I say. What'd he say? I wonder what to tell her. On one hand, I really want to go to that party. Showing up at school on Monday would be a lot easier if I knew a few people. But I'm a little worried about the Dobers. What's so bad about them that I can't even mention their name to Granny? Are they murderers? Moonshiners? Doesn't matter? I can take care of myself, and I'm looking forward to seeing Cole again. I think all that in the span of one eye blink. Then I look at Granny and say, the party's at Jillian Coffey's house.